Hey everybody, it's Gray, and this is Three Potatoes in a Pot. We're actually back from a 4-month hiatus?
It's only been 4 months?
I
There's
don't
no
know,
Yeah,
I
way.
checked the
I don't
YouTube
It
know.
seems
channel.
like it's been so long.
I checked the YouTube channel. Last upload was 4 months.
What? Really?
Yes, lifetimes ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It feels
It's
like it's been
been
longer
a
than that.
while.
It's been 7 years.
Feels like it.
This
Anyways.
has been like our brainchild since like freshman year, right?
I think so, actually. Yeah.
Oh, I'm old. I'm
2 years ago, we
unstatus.
uploaded Aiden Messes Everything Up.
Which
Is
is
that the Oh,
still
great. Is that
true.
the first episode?
Yep.
Hey. Shh.
Hey, that's no
Hey.
nice.
Stop bullying. It's not cool.
Yeah, and what was our last one even about, if you can check?
Last one was not a Christmas episode.
Bruh.
Okay, sorry anyone who hears banging from my mic. My brother has decided that now is a good time to go hit the punching bag. So you just get to deal with it.
I'm sorry. Muffled sounds of violence in the background.
Pretty much.
It's 9 o'clock, bro. Why are you punching?
Because he's Brody's brother. We know how he is.
Yeah.
Bro is.
He's quirky.
I rode
Yeah,
in the
he
car with
added
him
me on
today for the first
Discord.
time, and that was absolutely insane. He
He
didn't
added me
kill
on
us.
Discord for what?
What?
Your brother added me on Discord. I was like, okay.
Oh. I guess he saw you in our Minecraft server and was like, I guess I friend you now.
Bro doesn't even know who I am.
No, he probably just thinks you're
He's
one of my weird friends. I think that's how he considers you guys.
he's never seen you a day in his life,
Yeah,
definitely.
never. Every time I call him Pasty, it's just like the ghosts in his brain. He thinks that's who he thinks is saying that.
What? Does does he have
His
schizophrenia?
demons. His demons.
His demons.
One of our counselors confided in us that she loves the new Benson Boone song.
Hey, there's
That
nothing
the
wrong
one
with
that
that, I guess.
the one that goes moonbeam ice cream taking off your blue jeans.
Dancing
What
at the
about it?
movies.
Wait. You like that song?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's so funny to me because we were we were joking about it all week because she said that was one of her hot takes. So we were like, "Oh, guess you're getting married to Moonbeam ice cream."
I think that's mystical magic if I remember right.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
mystical, magical.
What?
But
I,
Ellie
I,
didn't
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's so
Ellie didn't know
To be
mystical,
that.
honest.
magical.
So she looked that up on her DJ app. She looked up Moonbeam ice cream on her DJ app and she goes, "I can't find it." And somebody was like, "It's called," I think it was Hallie, was like, "It's called mystical magical." And she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh." I go, "Did you really not know it was called that?" She goes, "No, I thought it was called Moonbeam ice cream. Leave me alone."
Fair.
Yeah, not gonna lie, my music taste is kind of weird. One day I'll be listening to like 70s, one day I'll be listening to like sea shanties
Brendan
and bar
Urie.
and Irish pub songs, and one day I'll be listening to pop music like that.
You guys don't know what it's like to go from Avenged Sevenfold to, um, like sea shanties to
Who?
polka. It's weird. So weird.
Polka.
Polka.
I forgot about polka.
You forgot how dare you?
I forgot how to polka.
Huh? How dare you forget how to polka? Do you think that's what polka dots were named after? Which came first, the polka or the dot?
I don't know. I don't really want to dive into that.
Fine.
I
Well,
don't want to think about that.
me and Gracie were off at Boys and Girls State this week, which,
We were in
for
the
any of you who don't know,
glorious.
is basically
The
a
glorious
simulated
city.
government school with a lot of guest speakers and things like that. It's a camp. You stay there all week. So,
The glorious city of St. Charles on Lindenwood beds.
yes, which felt like absolute rocks. I
I
lived.
don't know
Oh no,
how it
you guys gotta sleep in a bed.
Shut up, Aiden. No one cares about your cot.
we were
Actually, I
doing
I
guarantee
real
you that
work.
cot was more comfortable.
it's a nice cot.
Yeah, bro was living in luxury.
I was not living in I was getting rained on every other day.
Why is it always raining during that camp? I feel like there's never been a year where it isn't raining.
Exactly. Every goddamn Friday. Luckily not this Friday, but like every Thursday or Friday, it rains. I don't understand. I don't. I just
Yeah,
gotta
I
make
feel like
me
you
so.
always have to go to the storm shelter.
We never actually had to go to the storm shelter this year. It was actually kind of
Huh,
weird. We
it's
just had to
wrong.
stay under the pavilion.
Yeah, not us. We were
Yeah.
in buildings. I
It
never actually had to
rained
go outside in the rain.
it rained like what, 2 days?
I think it just rained on
I turned
Friday.
I turned to yeah, it did just rain on Friday. I turned to Ellie and I go, I feel like I'm at the end of Shawshank Redemption. And she had never seen it, so the joke didn't land.
That weather on the last day was like so nice. I really just wanted to skip out on the assembly we had, lay down on my bed, and take a nap.
Yeah, I was like, what if I just don't show up? What are they gonna do? Revoke my certificate? They gave it to me Friday night. It was Saturday morning.
Yeah, they didn't. When did I don't even remember when they gave out ours. I think it was on Saturday before we left.
They gave it to you Saturday?
Yeah, I think so.
So they gave it to you. Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Like the day we were leaving. That morning, I think we came out there and they were on our chairs.
Huh. Yeah, they gave it to us Friday night.
Which I went ahead and hung it up on my wall in one of my photo frames. I like it.
Yeah, you better keep it. $10 to replace it, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
What is it?
$10 if you lose it.
No, what is it?
Oh, it's a
What did you
Certificate to
certificate.
get?
show you made it through Girls and Boys State.
Yeah, and it says what you did. Like for me, it says a citizen of Carnahan City, member of the Federalist Party, attended the School of Commerce, and held the positions of Vice President of Strategy for the Chamber of Commerce and State Delegate.
Speaking
Fun.
of, what's up, Steven City, if you're listening? I love you all. That sounds sarcastic, but I do mean it.
Did you tell them about the podcast a bit?
I did. I sent them all a message. I was like, "Hey, if you guys love hearing me talk so much, hear me talk even more."
With their two friends, I guess.
Well, a few of them did meet Brody, so
That is
they
true.
know the face. They don't know the
Brody
voice.
and the stranger.
Brody and guy who thought it was a boot camp for 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, those two
I
girls we
mean,
walked around with during the carnival, they were fun.
Brody got to meet Ellie, the absolute unit that she is. It was kind of funny because the first day I get there, I'm so incredibly nervous. I'm like, I think I want to go home. I think this was a mistake. And I thought my roommate was never going to show up. And it was like, I think, do you remember what time they said that everyone should have arrived by? It was like 11 to like 2:30, 4:30.
No, because
It was later.
we didn't get
9:30.
there until like 2, and then I think it was like 4 you needed to be there.
Yeah, so like 4:30. It was like 4:25. It was like 4:30 And so at 4:25, she finally showed up because at first I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna have a roommate. I'm gonna be in here by myself. Like, that sounded good, but at the same time, I was like, I want that camaraderie. I want to have a roommate. And she finally showed up, and at first it was kind of awkward. But then by, by the end of the first day, we were acting like we had known each other for years.
Yeah.
To the to the point where people were asking us, they were like, "Hey, did you know each other before coming here?" And we were like, "Nope. Met on Saturday. Known each other for a week."
Dang.
My roommate's name was Jack. He came in like not too long after I got there. Like came in like 5 minutes after me. And so we talked for a minute, then we went and walked around, which was interesting. Went to the store and things, and yeah, he ended up becoming a pretty close friend. I helped him
I
run
didn't have a
for
roommate.
lieutenant governor.
I'm assuming he didn't win.
No, he didn't. He didn't get past the primaries, but
Yeah, loser.
Shoot. Ellie got past the primaries for attorney general, but she lost.
mm,
No. Ooh, how dare she?
She,
Should
and
have tried harder.
she looked at me after the elections and she goes, "What if I just became corrupt?" She goes, "What if I became corrupt after losing? What if this was my origin story?"
I'm surprised nobody became corrupt in Boy State.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I
I haven't
don't.
heard any
I don't
tales
think
of
there
corruption.
was any actual like. Was there any major corruption? I don't
There
think
was all
so.
sorts of
We
corruption.
had a lot of court cases, but it was no like official government position that was corrupt.
Uh,
They had a lot of stuff that went down. You're telling me the robberies weren't corrupt?
Well, no, I'm just mean I don't think any of the political offices were corrupt. Like,
robberies? What?
oh yeah, so there's a bank there. It's central
Yeah.
bank. It's run by uh people of the camp, obviously. And
Uh-huh.
so a guy just came up in the middle of our government time, runs up to the bank and steals an entire box of cash, like 20 grand, and just runs off. And this happened like four times after, and even
You'd think they'd get a better
someone
safe.
from my city even stole like 20 grand, and they just ended up using it to buy ads.
Was what was it? Yours Carhan? Carahan? But I don't know how to pronounce that.
Carnahan.
Carnahan. Did they actually steal anybody's flags?
um I guess it's over now, so I guess it's okay for me to say this. Yes, we stole many flags. At one point we
I
had
was
like
like,
3 flags.
yeah, you guys were the central like flag stealers. And you know what was so annoying? Um, I think it was Lewis, the city below us,
Mm-hmm.
got their flag stolen, and immediately the county counselor was like, "All right, guys, you have to bring it back." And it wasn't even a full day. They didn't even lose their flag for a full day. They lost it for an hour. I was like, why can Boy State have like these crime rings of stealing flags, but somebody steals one and they're like, okay, guys, stop having fun.
Well, you
Because
see, our
women.
counselors were cool about it. The guy on the floor below us, who let me tell a quick little story here. Middle of the, middle of the night, me and my roommate are up talking, just trying to talk through things. He comes into our room, not even our floor's counselor, goes, "It's lights out," turns off our light, and we just sit there staring at each other like, who the hell is this dude and why is he in our room? And so I just get up and I turn back on the lights and we keep talking. But apparently he went into the room where our town casino was and he saw that they were all up still gambling. And that also happened to be the room where the flags were. So he took the flags and told them to go to bed.
Dang.
Bruh.
That dude sucked.
Yeah.
And he wore sandals every day, which I just thought was weird. Nothing
Oh,
against people who
Why?
wear sandals necessarily, but he wore them every day and it was weird.
No. Why do people wear
oh.
sandals? They are like the most uncomfortable shoe to wear.
I wear slides all the time. When I'm going somewhere quick, I wear shoes when I'm gonna be walking all day.
It
I
was
just wear
just,
shoes.
oh, that dude.
Everything else is annoying and slips off my feet.
Yeah, we won Spirit City one of the days, so all the dude, one of the things that made me so mad was all the girls would when we would go anywhere, they would always be standing up trying to cheer because they wanted to win Model City. Oh, sidebar, who won Model City?
Oh, who did?
Obviously not you guys.
I think it
What are you talking about?
was Whitfield City, maybe? I can't
Whitfield
remember.
is
It was a
crazy.
city that none of us expected to win. Model City. Like, we were all kind of confused by it. Yeah, it wasn't one of the major
Yeah.
ones.
Um, so we won Spirit City for one of the days, and we were all like pumped up because like everybody in my city can like attest to me saying this. I think I turned to Ellie and I go, "We're gonna lose. We're not winning today." And then the girl on stage goes, "And your Spirit City for today," I go, "We're not gonna win this, is Steven City." And I immediately shut my mouth. I go, "I never doubted us for a second." So every day they would give out like Spirit City, which was just like you were the most spirited for that day. And then at
Yeah.
the end, you could win Model City for being the best city. But us winning Spirit City meant nothing to this one lady, this one counselor. She was shushing us the entire assembly, which was it made me so mad because every city talks during assemblies. It's just the nature of it. We are sitting in that space for sometimes like 2 hours, 3 hours, you know?
Yeah.
We're gonna get antsy. And I think that was the night that Hutchins Hunter's Hut Man was talking.
Oh,
That
Hut
was
Man.
yes, I remember. It was the night that the worst man ever was speaking, and I was not going to listen to a word he said because he'd be like, "Oh, duh,
For context, his
duh,"
name's Asa Hutchinson, former governor of Arkansas and Republican primary candidate for president.
which we would have been screwed if he won. If we would have been screwed either way.
Which year
But
was he
anyways,
primary?
Oh, I think he ran. Whoa, was it? I think it might have been 2012 or 2008.
Ah,
anyway, he was talking, and so I like people were whispering to one another and stuff like that, and she kept shushing us, which like if you know if you know anything, shushing doesn't make everybody quieter.
no.
It just makes it louder.
Yeah.
And at the end of it all, we won Spirit City. We're like pumped up. Our mayor went up and collected the Spirit flag, and we stops us and she starts talking to us and she was like, "I'm very disappointed in you guys because I voted for you to be Spirit City, but now I don't think you should. You don't deserve it because of what you were doing." And I was just like, "Hey, could you have talked to us, the next day? Could you have let us just enjoy us winning for like 2 seconds?"
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
She was literally like, "I voted for you guys." But now it's like, "Okay, so you're weaponizing that against us. Okay, so you only voted for us to weaponize it against us?" That's an insane thing to say. Especially, it made me so mad when like counselors would wake up girls who were like literally falling asleep from exhaustion during assemblies. It's like, hey, there are 799 other people. 799 other people who are watching this person. Let that one person sleep because we have been sleep deprived.
Yeah. I got so many counselors who kept nagging at me to help them get people off their phones and to wake up and things. I was like, dude, leave me alone. One guy like so aggressively kept hitting my shoulder. I was like, can you not?
Because that's not your problem.
Yeah.
Not your problem.
Maybe they should get more entertaining speakers, huh? Or let you guys sleep more.
Yeah, Donna kept
Well,
everyone awake.
Donna did keep everyone awake, and it's also the fact we're in there for so long. When you're on
Yeah,
your like fifth speaker in like 3 days, it wears on you.
because they don't just bring in a speaker either. They bring in a speaker, the speaker talks for 30 minutes, but there's also a boy state awarded alumnus. There's a girl state awarded alumnus. And then there's Brad Lear who comes up and talks forever because he's Brad freaking Lear.
Brad Lear. Gosh.
Brad
The
Lear,
only
you're
thing
not a
that
bad
kept us
person if
awake,
for some reason you ever hear this, but you talk too much.
the only thing that I was hyped for after those joint assemblies was the news. If you
Oh,
can
the
believe
news
it.
was awesome.
The news was so good.
Yeah,
The
so
memes were superb.
the news, like it was what you'd expect from news about a summer camp. It was awesome. It can't fully be explained here, but it was amazing.
Was it funny?
Yes.
Yes. And you were able to sell ads, so people would like make ridiculous ads for their businesses or whatever they wanted.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do you know how when they didn't buy enough ads, there was that screen that played? It was like the old DVD back and forth where you
Yes.
wanted it to hit the
Yes.
corner, and they'd always not hit the corner.
It would always
Some
not hit the corner and then a geese would hiss at you.
Yes. So you guys weren't there. It was only our assembly, but someone bought it, like bought an ad space and made them hit the corner.
Oh,
Everyone in that
we're
theater jumped up and was so happy.
that's another thing. The standing ovations.
There were so many.
There were so many. Not necessary. Like, dude, our first speaker, our first like big speaker was Barbara Bush. That's right, the Barbara Bush. I had never known her name until that day, and I was like, "Oh, we got a Bush speaking tonight." And man, me and Ellie could not take that seriously to save our lives because she told us a story that she had never should have told us.
What
So
was it?
she was talking about her grandma and how
Uh-huh.
one time her cousin
Oh, right.
accidentally sent her grandma like a thing. It's like, hey, should I get my bikini waxed to Barbara and her grandma? And man, Ellie turns at me and she goes, we all know she's rocking the bush. And so that's what we talked about all week. When everybody stood up, we would be like, ah, that's the bush pit. Like instead of a mosh pit, it was the bush pit.
The bush pit.
The bush pit. But why did she say that? Why did she have to bring up that waxing story?
I don't know.
We all know she's rocking the bush. And man, after everything, me and Ellie were like the city jokesters. After everything that happened, we would be like, that's the Clinton administration talking. That's what Clinton wants you to believe.
Thanks, Obama.
Because at one of the assemblies, I think I said, you know what I say to people, I'm like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. And she goes, no, girls can't do that. I go, what? She goes, yeah, Biden made that up. I go, what? No. She goes, yeah, that's the Clinton administration. That was Monica Lewinsky. And so now every time we said that, it would just get bigger and bigger. It was like, yeah, that was that was Chicago gangster Al Capone. That's propaganda from the Clinton administration. So now I'm gonna say that now, and nobody's gonna get it, and I'll be like, Ellie would have loved that. The Clinton administration would have loved that.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're gonna keep that alive for a while.
Cause it's funny, cause I don't think about Clinton a lot. But now I do.
You're telling me that's not your Roman Empire?
My Roman Empire is the fact that all the girls said they cried when Hillary lost the election, cause I did too, and I didn't even know nothing about politics. Like, I feel like that was everybody's, like, turning point.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I had the opposite reaction because I just kind of picked up whatever my parents said back then. And
Yeah.
so
You
whenever
were like,
Trump won,
yes!
I was like, oh, thank God. Didn't want her to win.
Non-woke Brody.
I either didn't care or was kind of sad because, that's who my parents voted for.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. To be honest, I haven't looked enough into Hillary Clinton to know if I would have voted for her, if I could have voted for her, but that's just how I was back then.
Yeah, I remember saying that to somebody, and I was like, yeah, I cried when Hillary didn't win the election, and I was a literal child. And they go, you too? And I was like, okay, so this was everybody's like origin story,
My liberal.
canon
Well,
event, if you will.
I hate to stray away from Boys and Girls State, but I do got to really quickly say I read something this week. Apparently, Donald Trump's son is thinking he wants to make a presidential run now.
Which,
God.
Eric Trump for president,
Eric?
guys.
Eric?
Eric?
I think
Which one's
it is
Eric?
Eric Trump.
What is
He's
their
the
Baron?
Yeah, it's Eric
There's
Trump.
only one.
I only know
Barron
I
would
only
never
know the
run for
one.
president.
I only know him. That's the only one I know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's food for thought.
Oh, it's this dude, yeah.
Food for thought. He would only like get far because of his dad's name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a Bush all over again.
he'd be stepping on JD Vance's toes.
No, not. Me and Ellie talked about the divorce. First week of
Yeah,
Pride
you're telling
Week.
me about that.
Who's gonna take care of JD Vance?
Poor guy.
2 Christmases, he says as he has his little pinwheel hat.
Poor
JD
guy.
Vance, this is bigger than you.
Everything's bigger than JD Vance.
Oh, me and Ellie talked about how we loved the vice president debate when it aired.
Oh yeah, the vice president debate was just so amazing because it was like, dude,
It was
honestly,
the
I don't
first
hate
time
you
we
that
had
much, and
yeah.
like, Walt's be like, dude, you're kind of cool. Vance be like, yeah, you're kind of cool too, and it was
It was the first
wholesome.
time they were kind of looking for a middle ground, instead of just being like no hate to the presidential debate because that was a circus and that was kind of funny. But
Yeah,
at the same time, it was scary because it's like, hey, these people are going to be running the country.
like a Walls Vance administration wouldn't have been so bad. Like combine both of them into one, that would have been kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
We would have evolved,
Yeah.
but instead, here we are.
We,
The big,
we would have been a
the
better
big
country.
ugly betrayal.
Yeah, I think it would have been so funny if they just like went backstage and were like, "Hey, you want to run instead? Yeah, let's do it."
Hey,
Do
want to
it.
make out? And then they did.
They vanced all over the place.
They vanced everywhere.
I'm gonna Vance.
That was another
Anyway,
thing me and Ellie said. It's like, I think we're friends just because we're so crass all the time. Like, come on, the Bush pit? That's funny. That's so incredibly funny to me. Like, that's a terrible last name. George
Bush.
W. And the whole time Barbara was talking, I was like, now watch this drive. I believe there's there's a timeline where fish and men can coexist peacefully. Why did he say what he said?
Because he was Bush and he didn't care.
Yeah, he was like, the war on terror, and everybody would give him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
I
I hate
told my,
terrorism.
I
Anyways,
told
now
my,
watch this drive.
now watch this drive. I told my dad that everybody would do a standing ovation after like each thing a speaker said one of the times, and my dad goes, "Huh, it's like the State of the Union address." He goes, "It's kind of like every time the president talks," and I was like, "Whoa, you're so real for that."
Whoa.
Yeah, you got half the room standing up and the other half, boo, you suck.
I love also Boys State hated their governor.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Wait,
So
was the
our
governor another kid?
our governor is like, he probably just graduated high school. He definitely just graduated high school.
Yes,
Because
that would.
he was our governor from last year. So the Boys State before us elected him to be governor, and he came back for our year to continue the duties of governor until we elected ours. And
Yes.
everyone hated him because he started off the week. Everyone's like, okay, this dude's cool, but then he goes and he starts He regulated casinos by saying only one casino per county, and at that point there's like one per city, and so everyone got really mad about that. And at the same time, he implemented a 25% tax on casinos,
What?
so everyone got absolutely so mad at him. And so whenever he came on the news with the State of the Union and thing, or the State of the State, and everyone goes boo.
Man, it was so
And
funny.
one morning at breakfast, he thinks it'd be a good idea to show his face over the balcony, and he starts waving at everybody. Everyone boos him again.
I thought that was so funny. And then the lawsuit.
Yeah, he sued a gambling company. He actually won that one.
That made me laugh so hard. He got 1.5 million
Mm-hmm.
boys and
What?
girls state bucks.
I don't even know if the bank had that because like the top investment firm had a capital of 500,000.
The bank had to print more money.
Inflation.
Yes, there was inflation at Boys State, which
There,
is so funny that you guys got paid and you got paid a lot. I was paid nothing because I was a journalist, you know?
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
average
I had like
journalism.
a lot of people didn't get paid a lot unless you owned a business. I got paid like I probably had one of the highest salaries in the entire state. I made $400 a day compared to like our police people made like $25 a day.
Um, yeah, the people at the radio and podcast didn't make anything because we didn't sell any ads because nobody wanted to sell ads on the radio.
Yeah, I
Because
noticed
nobody
that.
know where to get it. That they didn't know where to get it. Like they didn't know where to listen.
Yeah, they made us listen to the podcast during our breakfast, but still no one bought ads because they didn't like it.
Oh, they tried to play it during breakfast, but it was so loud that nobody could hear it.
Yeah, our counselors
Also,
walked around and shut us up.
ah, they didn't
Dang.
they didn't do that for us. Well, you didn't get to meet the absolute gem that is Grandma Betty, Aiden.
Oh, Grandma Betty.
Gra-
What a legend.
Grandma Betty.
She became the loading icon for the app. She was so popular.
Yeah, you should have seen her. She won an award.
Yeah, she's given like a bunch of years of service to the program, and
I
overall,
think
just
Ah,
like
an amazing lady.
was it like 30 years or was it more than that?
I have no idea. I really don't remember.
But she gave a lot of time and then I think the director of Girls State was like, "And she can dance." And we were all like, "Dance, Grandma Betty, do a little dance." And I think she did like a little jig and when the whole entire arena like stood up and started screaming.
Yeah, everyone loved Grandma Betty. Like, she united us
Like
all.
like we were feral.
Some people got Grandma Betty in their ads, and that was like
Mhm.
peak
If you
moment.
had grandma yeah, if you had Grandma Betty in your ads, you were doing something.
you reach the top of society.
Yeah, an endorsement from Grandma
Yes.
Betty meant every. I think one of our, at some point, Greek life started happening over at Boys State. Like,
Yes,
there,
what happened?
I have no
Wait,
idea.
fraternities?
It literally only happened in the House of Representatives. Finn was a part of it,
Okay,
for the record.
Ah,
that makes sense.
Um, but yeah, that there were two ones that formed. One of them I think had Grandma Betty in an ad. It was
Yes, because one of the times I opened the newspaper because I was in that newspaper and I just see an entire page dedicated to this frat with Grandma Betty. It was like it was something Alpha Beta Phi.
yeah. It I can't remember what it's called. Which, by the way, I did finally read your article one day when we were there. Nice job.
Yes, yes. I was in the talent show.
Mhm.
I did poetry. I did slam poetry, and when I tell you like the amounts of snaps I heard, like it was very nice because
everyone understood.
everyone understood, but I also had to issue a trigger warning because the libs, the Clinton
Mm.
administration planted that trigger warning there.
There's a bush.
There, Barbara Bush was in the audience. Barbie Bush herself was there. No, the director of the talent show, who's also the band teacher at our local high school, fun fact, was like, people have done poetry before, and the last time a girl did poetry and stuff like that, we didn't issue a trigger warning, and then somebody got mad, so I just want you to do that so nobody gets mad at you. She goes, I don't think your poem's a problem. I think it's just a problem that
It's a
other people are
problem
gonna
with
get mad.
society.
Yeah, she was like, It's not your fault. I just don't want you to get in trouble," because she's like, "I really like it." She's like, "I wouldn't picked it if I didn't like it."
Yeah, that's insane.
But I did that, and my counselor was literally like, "I have heard so many people try to do poetry, you know?" She said, "I had never heard it performed correctly before," and she was like, "It was really good." So, that made me feel good, and, like, girls from my city literally ran up and, like, hugged me after, and it made me feel really happy. 'Cause I was so nervous. Because 'cause you're performing in front of 800 girls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially with a type of art form where you really have to, like, dig into it.
Yeah.
One of the girls performed her own original song, and at the end, we started chanting, "Spotify, Spotify." There was a lot of chanting at Girls and Boys State, like, "USA, USA." That came up a lot.
Take it off. Take it off.
"Take it off." Um, I got to watch a naturalization ceremony.
Oh, you gotta
Most
watch that,
beautiful
bro.
beautiful ceremony. Like, one of the most empowering things I have ever seen.
Yeah, I wish I got to go to that. I was at other things, but
Yeah, it we watched 48 people become US citizens, and I have never been as happy as watching those people walk the stage, because these were people who have spent, I don't know how long it takes, it always varies from person to person.
It's 10 years, right? Like,
let's do a quick Google. Keep talking about it.
Um, but yeah, we watched it, and they would walk the stage, and they were like the biggest smiles on their faces. One of the guys took a selfie with all of us because we were in Scheidinger Theater, and they were waving American flags. Some were like jumping for joy. One of the girls brought a, like, I think the child was her son. I can't be entirely sure, but it was a very small kid, and I just like yelled. I was like, "You did it, mama," because they were all just so proud of themselves, and I was proud too. I I had never seen something like that before, you know? It's like, obviously, we as Americans who have never known anything different, like, sometimes we take it for granted, and I obviously do. I know I've had before, and you can always get so down in the dumps with, like, the future is bleak kinda thing, but seeing these, like, people made me, like, kinda, like, think it's like, this is what it's all about, you know?
Mhm.
yeah.
And quick note: it is 5 years.
Oh, it's only 5. Okay.
That's still a very long
Yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, that's still
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
48 people. We got to watch 48 people become US citizens.
That's cool.
It's kind of disappointed I didn't get to go see that Court of Appeals session.
No, I think you're fine because I didn't go to it, but everybody said it was the worst.
No,
What were they appealing?
it was a
It was a
murder trial.
murder trial, but
Ah,
everybody said it was so boring
Oh,
because they
okay.
had the most monotone voices ever.
I just thought it'd be cool to see, but I had to go do Chamber of Commerce things that day. I did so many Chamber of Commerce things. We met all the time. We met almost every meal. It was fun, but it was very time consuming.
Yeah.
Those people
That's
were
why
awesome.
I like the journalism side of it. I didn't have to be doing so much all the time.
Yeah. We just had a lot to plan out because, Chamber of Commerce is supposed to get a lot done in a short amount of time. Like, we had to figure out how to convince members to join, what policies we want to do. We never even got to submit any policies. The week was too short for that.
Oh yeah, the week is incredibly short for all the things that you want to get done.
Yeah. It's incredibly long assembly-wise because there's way too many assemblies,
Oh
but actually
my,
getting
oh
government
my
things
God, yeah.
done, way too short.
There's too many assemblies. Like,
Every
we
night
get
there's
it.
a like 2-hour assembly. And then that's not
Man,
even counting the other ones during the day.
Yeah.
Like listening
how
to
long did
all of those
assemblies
speeches.
go till?
What?
Like, how long did you guys stay up just listening to assemblies?
Probably like a day's worth of assemblies altogether.
Ooh, that that sounds boring.
Which I don't know if I ever told you about this, Gracie. I complained this about to other people, but every single speaker we had always would do this. Now I have 4 points I want you to take away today,
Mm-hmm.
and then list out the points.
Yes.
Our very last guy had 10 points. 10 points he
10?
wanted us to take away. He spent his entire time
That's an
talking about 10 points, and it was
that's
so
a
annoying.
novel.
It was so annoying, and he talked so slow and so monotone. And at the same time, I wanted to listen to the guy because he got his whole body blown up in Afghanistan.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
he laid on top of a grenade to save like the rest of his squad, and it like I wanted to listen to him, but also it was so boring. Oh my gosh. Sorry, that was a bit of a
Did you
rant, but
at the end of the week, did you have like a ceremony, like a memorial ceremony where they like set the table? Or was that just us?
set the table.
Yeah, they set a table to like memorialize the fact that there are soldiers who will never come home.
No, we didn't do that. We had a right before we ended session, which I thought was kind of weird doing it then, but we had a moment of silence for all
Yeah, we did
Boys
that
State
too.
members who had died. So yeah, but yeah, we didn't do anything like that.
There was
I
a
thought
sense
your
of
flag
community.
raising was kind of weird,
Yeah, I did not like doing the flag raising every day.
which they didn't make us do that, but I think that's partially also just because we don't have a flagpole.
Also, the fact the one thing is that I loved Girls State, I really did, but I was just so exhausted.
mhm.
They made us constantly go, go, go from 6:30 to 11:30. We were doing something.
Yeah, and that does include the time that you want to be up talking to your roommates and suite mates. Like me and a couple
Yeah,
guys in my room stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning just talking about random things.
yeah. Like me and my roommate would always have a debrief, but it was really hard to when we were like we do that during the time our suite mates were taking a shower. But man, waking up at 6:30 only to go to bed at 12:30 wore me out.
Yeah, I got really lucky just with my suite mates because two of us, me and one of the guys from next door, we would take our showers at night, and the other two would take them in the morning. So it all just really worked out well.
Oh, so your suite mates were stinky.
I didn't
What?
notice anything, but yes, I think taking a shower in the morning is odd compared to at night.
Yeah, but also, it really doesn't make a difference.
Yes, it does.
Aiden, are you
No,
a
it doesn't.
shower in the morning person?
No, I shower at night just because
Good,
it's easier and I don't want to
because
wake up and.
it feels
Because
gross to go to
you're
bed.
sleeping in your filth
Yep.
if you don't take a shower after a whole day of doing activities.
Yeah, yeah.
The
What do you
only time
mean,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah?
take a
Don't be
shower at
stinky.
night is whenever I fall asleep and I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I take a shower in the morning because it is morning.
You take showers at 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, I wait, but yeah, you get what I mean.
You wait in your filth.
The only time I wait in my filth is when I'm at a friend's house and I stay the night at Delaney's and then I come back. Like I didn't shower at Delaney's, obviously.
Well, yeah, who showers during sleepovers?
It'd be fun if you
Not
tried that at
me.
a sleepover. You're just like, you bring all your soap and stuff. You're like, hey guys, I'm gonna go take a shower, and you don't let them say anything else. You just go hop in their shower.
Hey, hey, how do you run this?
No, you just gotta act like you live there. And then in the morning, you like get up and you just make a bowl of cereal and like, oh hey, eating some breakfast here.
I was always the first one up during sleepovers, and I didn't feel comfortable doing anything, so I just kind of sat there.
I was always the last one to fall asleep.
It was so funny at one of the sleepovers I was at with Satchel and Zach. Uh, Me and Satchel were up. We were kind of like talking for a minute. Zach would not wake up, and we were like, "Dude, it's his house, and we want to get something to eat." And so we like shook him awake, and he would not wake up no matter what. Like we started hitting him
Throw us
with
a
pillows,
log.
and he wouldn't wake up. It took him forever to wake up. It like Zach knows how to sleep.
We suffered from Poopy Gate in my suite.
Yes, good old Poopy Gate.
So Brody and Aiden already know this story, but some of you may not. Even though me and Ellie were screaming this to whoever would listen when we left our dorm. So we wake up it's a Thursday. We wake up. We do our business in the morning. We're ready to go. We leave. One of the girls, her name was Pushpa, our suite mate, left to go to Jeff City for that day, which is fine. So she would be gone all day. And then the other girl claims she was gone all day. Well, I think it might have been like after lunch or something like that. We needed to go back to the dorms. Ellie needed something. She needed to use the restroom. And we go back. I'm standing in the dorm. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I hear like gasping and like screaming. And she's like, you need to see this. There's poop in the toilet. Ellie says that. And I'm like, okay, what? You're kidding. And she's like, I wish I was. And so I go in there. There's literally poop in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's insane. Who did this? And so we left it there all day because it's not ours. I'm not going to plunge some random person's deuce. That's not me. And she tried to flush it. The water rose, so we went to somebody else who was in the dorm, and we were like, hey, can we use your restroom because ours has been vandalized. Ours has suffered from Poopy Gate, is what we decided to call it. And so we we let all day go by, and Ellie started screaming, "Somebody took a Mondo Deuce in our can." I flushed the toilet. The water starts rising. It's half the I look at it, it's half the size of me, a Mondo Deuce, which I thought was the funniest thing ever, and it smelled so bad, and we were like, "Guys, at that point, we don't care if you did it, just please fess up because why is there a mystery deuce in our toilet?"
Who did this?
I I still wanna know. Like, at the last day, it was Friday, we were like, "Okay, who's responsible for Poopy Gate?" And nobody fessed up.
Well, why would you at that point?
Because it was disgusting, and I just wanted to know why you did it. Like, did we make you mad? Did
Well,
I
no,
make you mad
All
to
right,
where
I
you
guess I
had to
should be
put
honest. It was me the whole time.
Yeah, did I make you
I didn't know
or
what your
did
city was.
somebody
I didn't know where your dorm was, but it was me. Sorry.
did one of us make you mad to where you plopped a Mondo Deuce in our can and
okay,
just
so
let
what
it sit there all day?
what happened was probably someone took the Poopy Gate. It clogged. It wouldn't flush. So they're like, oh shit, I gotta go. So then they ran.
Well, because me and Kelly were accounted for, Pushpa was accounted for, and the other sweet mate, we were kind of like, was it you? And she says it wasn't her, so I'm gonna believe her because I don't want to be like, it was you
It was
if
you.
I have no evidence.
Conspiracy.
But because if it was her, I would feel a little safer. But if it wasn't her, who did that?
You're scared. You're gonna.
I'm scared they're gonna strike again.
So I didn't tell you, but we kind of had our own little
You
problem
had your
of
own
that
Poopy
too.
Gate?
I didn't know about this because it happened on the very first day, and I didn't know about it until one of my suite mates told me about it. But so we get there, me and my roommate Jack, we can't access the bathroom. It's locked from the other side. So we're like, okay, we'll just wait till the other guys get here. They'll unlock it. And so it comes to light later in the week when we're talking to one of our suite mates that when he got there, the toilet was already clogged. Like it came pre-clogged, and his roommate wasn't there yet either.
It came
And I'm not
pre-clogged.
sure if it had crap in it or if it was just toilet paper. I can't remember what he said. So he took a stick that we have no clue where it came from, like a wood pole
A
that did
stick?
that a wood pole that was like somewhere randomly in the dorm, and he shoved that thing down the toilet and got it unclogged somehow. And
He didn't get a plunger?
no, he just shoved a
That'd
stick
be
down
too
the toilet.
easy. That would be too easy.
Where'd the stick end up?
It sat next to the toilet for the entire week.
Ha, that's a toilet
Oh,
stick.
oh,
You gotta.
that's nasty. Why didn't he get a plunger?
I don't
Oh,
know.
ops had plungers.
It was the first day, so he was probably just confused.
At that point, if it was full enough, a plunger wouldn't have done anything. Plunger wouldn't have reached down to the hole. They needed the stick.
Oh man, that's gnarly.
Yeah, I had no clue about it until like halfway through the week when he told me. And
He's like,
Clearly, the
yes.
stick did his job.
Clearly, there was a the mad deucer of Mattoon going on.
It was Brad.
Bradley took a crap in our toilets.
Brad Lear. It was the Secretary of State for Missouri. He
Oh
took
my
off his
gosh.
shirt and then took a deuce.
Poor guys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what is this? If I look up who Brad Lear is, would I find a picture of him?
Let
Probably.
me see.
How's his last name spelled? Lear.
Yeah, you can look him up.
Lere, right?
Lear.
Oh, it
I
is
spelled it
spelled like
wrong when
that.
I was talking to you guys. I didn't realize that. Oh, he's a lawyer. Who would have known?
Oh, so it is this
Uh-oh.
dude. This is Brad Lear.
Oh, he's actually got his name on a firm. Damn. Okay.
Hey, so we're getting sued
No,
for calling him the Mad Gasser, the Mad Deucer.
is this bro?
Oh my goodness.
This him?
Yep, that's Bradley.
Oh my goodness. That just reminded me of another thing. Ellie was the mad gasser of Mattoon because listen, we were at the sticker table because there was like a mental health matters sticker table. And so we're going over there and we had to leave. This was before Poopy Gate. This is pre Poopy Gate. There's pre and post Poopy Gate.
The two eras.
So we were at the sticker table and we were like, because there was more stickers that were brought out. I was like, okay, let's see. Let's see about that. And she looks at me and she goes, "You ready to go?" And I go, "Yeah." And so we we walk out there and she goes, "I just farted so and it stunk so bad right in front of the sticker table." She goes, "I just crop dusted that thing. We had to get out of there." So it was so funny. She looks at me, she goes, "You ready to go?" "Yeah." "Okay." I was like, "Oh, is the counselor here?" She's like, "No, I just crop dusted that place." And she did it multiple times. She would look at me, she's like, "We gotta go. We gotta go now." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I just crop dusted that. Crop dusting is so funny to me. Mondo Deuce, half the size of me. Oh my goodness. And we had a court case for our beloved mascot,
Oh yeah. What'd you guys name him?
Steven. We're real
Steven.
creative.
It was a
For Steven
wasp.
City. It was a wasp.
Not Steven the Wasp.
For the record, we had a rule in our town that you couldn't murder any bugs or something.
Oh dang.
Um,
It was on a board of common MBS rules or something.
You cannot
Really? That's
put
weird.
like even wasps, like not Steven. Steven's
Steven,
different.
Maybe it said
yeah.
bugs, plant, and people. I'm pretty sure.
People is like an afterthought.
Like
Bugs, plant, and people.
I'm not sure
and
what
people
exactly it
maybe.
said, but I think it was something like that.
What made that a rule? Like who
There
was
was
the
a
serial bug murderer?
the Mad Gasser of Mattoon was in there. Crop dust in all of them.
Okay, so I
Oh
have
my
YouTube
goodness.
open right now. And Aiden, this is completely off topic, but Aiden, do you remember that dude we met in the airport at DC who told us he had a
Yeah.
YouTube channel?
Uh-huh.
I'm still subscribed to that.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I probably am too. I haven't
Manish
looked at
Musing.
my subscriptions in a while.
Was it a good channel?
No, he hasn't made a
I,
video in 5 years, and one of his 3 videos is just this kid dancing at multicultural night.
There was no multicultural friend group playing frisbee at Lindenwood, by the way.
what? Not a real college.
No, no, no. There was.
Who,
No.
Brody?
One day I was walking back, and there were dudes outside playing frisbee in front of their dorms.
That was boys' state. There was none of
Yep.
that at girls' state.
There were dudes out there playing
Well,
frisbee.
girls don't play. You ever seen a girl play frisbee at college? No, it's always
No.
dudes.
That's still funny. There was one multicultural friend group playing frisbee.
Yep. There was.
Probably probably after they dropped a Mondo Deuce in our toilet. Oh my gosh. Aiden, you haven't the Spellman Vert was real. I hope you know that.
Yeah, that we weren't lying about. It was basically a vertical climb.
Oh,
It
fun.
was so bad. Like you had to work for your meals.
You almost fell down trying to go up that thing.
So it was just a really steep hill.
It was
Yes.
like max, like think the steepest hill you've ever walked up, then think steeper.
I don't know. I've walked up a steep hill.
I don't even know how they paved that thing.
It's like climbing up the side of a mountain.
It should have been stairs at that point.
It
Like,
really should have.
why didn't they just lower the hill? Like
I
make
don't
it less
know.
of a.
I don't know.
And why was every level in Lindenwood ground level? I walk out the doors, I walk up the stairs, it's ground level. I walk up the stairs again, it's ground level again. Everything was ground level.
Yeah, they had a way of making that place. Oh.
Walkable campus, my left butt cheek.
Only because of the what is it called? Spellman Vert.
The Spellman Vert is so bad. No, but it was also the fact that I had to walk up it every time I needed a meal. And so there was one side that was like less vertical where we would walk to get our meals. But then there was the real Spellman Vert that we walked one time and we were like, never again.
Yeah, it got to the point where instead of going up that way, I just went through the side, went through the girls' state store, and then like went up an elevator.
Yeah, that's the best way. The Spellman Vert
Cause
was so
I don't know if you ever saw where my dorms were the one right next to the Evans Hall over there by
Oh,
Highland. So I walked from there to Spellman every single
poor
day.
you. Mine was Guff, the old Fuffy. Mine was
Mm.
Guffy. So I was in the middle of like everything.
Yeah, I was like the farthest away from both Spellman and Shininger, but I was closest for breakfast. That was nice.
Well, that's
Thank
nice.
thank goodness you didn't go to the law school, because that was a trick and a half.
Yeah, I never even saw where that was.
I went there once for the court case because I took pictures, and that was the only reason why I made it was because we were taking stupid videos of Natalie the whole time because she was handcuffed. She had like red ribbon around her wrists behind her back. And she was found not guilty for second-degree murder and domestic terrorism because
Oh,
apparently they don't understand how accomplishing works. If you're an accomplice to a murder, you committed second-degree murder and domestic terrorism. You terrorized the community. We almost had a
Is this
serial
because of
killer
the
on our
murder of Stephen?
Yeah, and his son, Stephen Jr., was also
His
found dead.
son? They got
Yes.
both of them?
Yeah, so the funny thing was, Natalie went up into the 4th floor and looked for dead bugs to to add spice to the week so they could get the second murder.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, "Things were getting too serious. I had to shake it up." You walked the Spellman Vert one too many times.
Once you walk the Spellman Vert, you're never the same.
Oh man, the Spellman Vert is such a funny thing to me.
I was so happy whenever I met you guys at the carnival and you guys had also experienced that and had a name for it.
Did you guys have a name for it, or
No,
were
I
you
didn't.
just
I
like,
just
"Oh,
because I was
Spellman"?
like the one of the few people from Boise State who experienced that.
Oh, so you guys
Oh
made up
man,
that name. That wasn't a
That
yes.
was something Gracie and her friends made up, and I was like, okay,
ah.
I'll just take this now because that's amazing.
It was just funny. Um, yeah, I was like the regional prank. Ellie kept doing this thing. We were in our dorms for like 5 minutes, and she kept pulling pranks on me, but they weren't even pranks because she, so she said making a weird noise until my roommate notices, but she folded under no pressure. She went and she started busting out laughing, and, and she folded under zero pressure. I was like, "Oh, did you make that noise or was that your phone?" And then the second time she goes playing fart noises till my roommate notices prank. But but the thing was, she was laughing and you could see her phone and she did these pranks one after another. So it wasn't even like it was like it caught me off guard. I was fully aware. Oh my gosh. We did some dumb things.
I can tell.
One of the times it was the last day and we had to go to like the safety training thing and we didn't want to go. So we got our attendance and we looked at each other and we were like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we got our attendance and we just left.
Fair. Why would you say?
And we weren't supposed to, but we just walked with enough confidence. The
See,
first joint assembly, after each thing Barbara Bush said, I would go, "Mmm." And
mm,
so a couple boys behind me started doing that.
Oh wait, you started that? That
Yeah,
became a massive thing.
that was me.
We did that in so many of our assemblies, like not even
Wait.
just with Girl State. Every time, actually, it was particularly with Boy State. Like when one of our speakers said something, the guys would go, "Mmm."
Gracie, you
Oh,
started a trend.
Yeah,
that makes me feel so good about myself.
yeah. That I'm not even lying. That happens so many times.
Yeah, I was there and I was like she would say something, she'd be like, "Yeah, and so I'm a Bush," and I go, "Mm."
Mm,
And so I heard a couple boys started they took my thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you could get married at Girls' State. I proposed to my lovely fiance, Hallie Bally, if you're listening.
Yeah, that was so
We never
funny
got
to me
married.
that you guys could do that. Like me and a couple of the guys from Chamber of Commerce were walking by, and one of the Girls State people go, "Hey, can you guys propose to each other real quick?" And she films it too, and they did the stupidest thing. So the guy proposes, and the other guy does like one of those like iconic reactions of, "No way! Thank you." And it was it's so dumb. And after we left, we told him they recorded it, and he was like, "No, that might be on the TV later. How am I supposed to explain this to my mom?"
Dude, you got bigger fish to fry.
And then later in the week the dude's money got stolen, and he's like, "But I got my lovely husband to support me." And the dude's like, no, no, no.
Yeah, there's no rule to how many wives you can have. So at first I was like, what if I put a limit on that by just marrying everyone?
I just
But I
start
didn't have enough
polygamy
time.
ring.
Yeah, I didn't have enough time, so we had a couple Mormons.
Ah, the good old polygamists. I wonder if they still teach that the Garden of Eden is in Missouri in Mormonism.
Yeah, it's still an independence.
Clearly.
In Independence, Missouri.
It's in Independence, Missouri, the greatest city in the world.
Because that's where old John Smith and his boat stopped.
Ah, his boat.
John Smith had a boat.
How did his
Well, for a
boat
while
stop
it
in
wrecked.
Independence?
It wrecked.
It wrecked really hard. How is it in Independence?
I have no idea. That's the story I know.
The
Sure, a
lame
Mormon would
boat.
love to correct that, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrecked so hard I landed Independence.
then they made him move to Utah.
They're like, nah, get out of here. Go. Get.
He dropped a Mondo Deuce and then went to Independence. Took his shirt off, with his multicultural friend group and played frisbee.
The Independence McDonald's will never recover after that incident.
What?
What? You know what? I'm so glad that Girls State had good food
Yeah, you guys
compared
were
to
so
Boys State.
lucky with food. Oh, I'm glad I got to eat over with you guys for most of the time because our food was so terrible.
Oh my goodness. My dad was like, "Are you sure they didn't just say they got food poisoning because they got homesick and they wanted to go home?" I go, "No, it was actually treacherous."
Yeah, oh, it was so bad.
Mix that with Spellman Vert, it's over.
Spellman Vert and food poisoning?
Spellman Vert, food poisoning, and Poopy Gate.
Like
Plus,
literally.
All in one week.
Yep.
plus Bradley are not taking off his shirt.
No!
Biggest disappointment of all time.
What if he took his shirt off and he was ripped?
Not possible.
No, he doesn't even look that chunky in the picture.
Maybe it was just on stage, or maybe that's an earlier picture, but
It was the stage lights that made him chunky.
I don't know. He when I say fat, he was definitely not that fat. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he'd be very pleasant underneath.
Hey, what do you have against?
Horizontally challenged people.
Was he horizontally challenged? How tall was he?
Aiden, that's
That's
vertically
vertical.
challenged, you dumbass.
We were just talking about the Spellman Vert. Did you
Uh,
Aiden,
think
this
it?
entire time, Aiden's been picturing a long plane.
no, I know what you're talking. I got my words mixed up. Calm down. I know what the Spellman Vert is. I know it's just a really steep hill. I didn't think it was just a really a really long gradual climb.
But yeah,
Yeah, how
wait, that
tall
would
is he?
literally just be a sidewalk. Now that
No, but I like to think it's just a weirdly straight bridge that just goes on for way too long.
There was a bridge.
yeah, there was.
Oh, no way.
One of the times me and Ellie went on a side quest and we were by the bridge and it was raining and we were like, why are we here? We didn't want to go on the Spellman Vert. That's why we were there.
Anything's better than the Spellman Vert.
Anything's better than the Spellman Vert.
Yeah, that was iconic.
Man, there were so many the microcosm that was Girls and Boys State and how it will never be like that ever again.
Yeah, you get to go once and you're done forever. Like it's just insane. Yeah.
Like um I applied to be a junior counselor, but that doesn't mean I get to do exactly what I did this girl's state.
Yeah, I've been wondering if I should apply for that. I don't know. Thinking about it.
Maybe you could do that and then you could be in my brother's city.
Maybe.
Our brother's city was Dugan,
Oh, I hated Dugan.
not the
Who?
Dugan dogs. Do you know who your sister city was?
Um, I don't
I hope it
remember. They were
wasn't
not
Pershing.
notable enough for me to remember. I
Okay,
just
good.
remember they sat
Because
behind us in the middle during assemblies.
we hated Pershing. They were the worst.
Well,
What was
one
so
of the
bad
girls
about
from
them?
the sister city kept moving my chair, like she kept moving it upward, and so finally I just like slam it back, and she's like, "It wasn't me," and I'm like, "I don't give a crap which one of you it was."
Quit it. Oh,
Stop it.
she liked you. The Dugan
Ooh.
dogs. The Dugan. Didn't two of their people get kicked out?
I
What?
didn't hear anything about that, but that is something
How?
they would
Yeah,
have kept quiet.
two people got kicked out. I don't
How?
know if it
What
was
did they do?
specifically from Dugan.
Dang,
What I heard was weed.
that
Ah,
would make sense, but I didn't hear anything about that.
the good old devil's cabbage.
Oh, the Dugan dogs. That's such a funny word. Why did they name these cities like that?
A lot of them
What's
are
a
named after
Dugan?
Dugan.
like
Someone's
former
last
boy
name.
staters and things.
You guys are just making of someone's last name.
I think Carnahan was named after a former Missouri governor from a long time ago.
Carnahan?
Yeah.
We had there was Boone City. Benson Boone City.
There was Boone, there was Carnahan, there was Dugan, there
There
was
was Drake.
Whitfield. Yeah, there's Drake, there was Lewis, there was
Did
um
you have a Pershing?
I don't think we did.
We had Pershing, Stevens, Crowder, not Carnahan. Um what was it? It was Crowder and something else. We had Adrian, Anthony. There were 16 cities. I can't
Yeah.
remember them all.
We had Donovan, they were our floor below us, so we were a county.
We had Lewis. Pershing was a part of our county, and we hated them because they were the fourth floor, and they put a toll on their floor.
What?
Hmm. Actually,
Yeah,
we
and
we did that for a while, for like one day, and then the casino people didn't like it, so they just paid all the taxes. I only had to pay
yeah,
taxes like one time the entire time I was there.
so they put a toll on the fourth floor, and we were like, "Oh, that's stupid." And we just thought it was stupid. And since we were the third floor, and they needed our floor to get to their floor, we said we will impose a toll if you do not take it down. And so they finally took it down. But
Okay,
it was
How
just
many
like,
that's
floors
kind of
were there?
crazy. Like our floor only applied the tax if you actually entered our floor. Like if you're in the stairwell, we were the fourth floor as well, but if you were in the stairwell at all, you were good. If you like walked into our main area or into our hallways, then you had to pay.
yeah, no, because I wanted to go up there to get like a thing of tape because we ran out of tape, and I saw that and I was like, oh, okay.
Wait, how many floors were there per building?
Four.
For ours there was four.
I
What's the
think
point
I
of
think all the residence halls
tolling?
had four.
What's the point of tolling the top floor?
I don't know. They told it, but we were like, hey, we'll toll our floor, and they needed our floor to get to their floor.
Yeah, you guys should have kept it.
Well, we wanted to promote tourism.
Ah, I see.
All fluffy.
Yeah, it got kind of annoying after a while climbing up to the fourth floor every time. Not gonna
Mine was the
lie.
third floor, and the second floor was ground level, so it really wasn't hard
Oh, yeah, our
because
first floor was
everything's
ground
ground
level.
level.
Everything is ground level, apparently.
Although the first
That
floor people were kind of lucky, they got an entire like meeting room area instead of just having to gather in like a very small zone outside the elevator.
man, those city meetings after every day, we had to do a debrief every day. It was awful.
Yes, and ours went way over every single time.
My counselors were good in the fact that we always went to bed first, like out of everybody. But man, was it annoying because it was just going over the schedule. Like we get it. We can look in the app. Hey, there's an app for this.
Yeah, we had a lot of city meetings that were like announcements from people at the camp, not just our counselors. We always did like a talk after the speaker. They wanted to know what we thought about the speaker, so
Oh, we never did that.
we would always dive into that.
Boring. Yeah, I don't know what to say. You guys are just conversing.
Yeah, you had to be there. That's
Dugan.
just the truth
Yeah,
of it.
this was a Brody and Gracie episode.
Yep.
This was you had to be there.
There's not many Brody
No
episodes,
snow.
but this is definitely half one.
Well, yeah, Brody's usually the one who. I'm Brody today.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just sitting here and listening.
And he's loving every minute of it.
I don't know about that.
Aiden secretly wants the attention.
Aiden secretly wished he was a Dugan dog.
No. Well,
Did you guys have a mascot?
no, we didn't. Not all of our cities had to do that. There were some with
I
mascots,
know.
but we didn't
That's
have
weird.
one.
Every city had a mascot. We just thought it added more like fun to the fact.
Did you guys like make your own flags or something?
Yes, we did. That was really
Okay,
fun.
so our governor signed a law at the very end that had us that having the next group make their own flags instead of having our flags.
Yeah, I think that's really good
Yeah.
because it was like a city bonding exercise. We all got to contribute to our own flag.
Yeah, we didn't have anything like that, like to city bond in the beginning. So yeah, that's
No
fun.
bonding for you.
Well, we're at an hour 16 minutes for if it's about that time.
You guys
Well, the
got any more
Dugan
stories?
dogs got to bond.
Okay,
Screw Dugan.
what did the Dugan dogs do that made them
Nothing. They
so
just had a horrible chant that was like hoo 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 hoo, and it was horrible.
One
Oh,
of them, one of the girls at one of the cities at Girl State would just be like, I think they called themselves the Alphas. They were like
Oh
and
my
then they would go,
gosh.
"I'm the alpha. I'm the leader. I'm the one to trust."
I liked our chant. Ours was just who's the man? Carnahan.
Oh, okay. Ours was STING 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 Steven Sting let the what victory ring. Um it was a running gag in my journalism group that if we were to ask questions to someone, it would be like, if my glorious King LeBron James dunked on you, how would you react?
There was such a love for LeBron there. Like
It was so funny. Like we did one of these things where like the teacher put a QR code on the board and it was like, what questions would you ask
oh,
somebody
we
you're
had those
interviewing?
too.
Yeah, and so somebody put my glorious King LeBron James, and I yelled, "That's not a question, that's a statement."
We had one in commerce class that was what business are you thinking of starting? Can anyone guess what
LeBron.
like 20 answers were?
Was it just LeBron James?
No, think a little more about what Boys State was all about for us.
Casinos.
Yep, casino, casino,
Yeah,
casino. Gambling,
yeah,
gambling,
I
gambling.
I should have thought harder about that.
they are very profitable.
Oh yeah, our well, for the record, our casino guys made enough money to pay off the taxes for the entire town. Our entire city didn't pay any taxes because the casino guys took care of the entire city budget.
Well,
Oh, dang.
there's nothing else to do with your boys' state bucks
Yeah,
except use it on the fair or on the campaign store, which
I bought something from Andy's, which they bought ice cream for us all too. The casino people did, which was awesome. But other than that, I didn't spend any of my money.
yeah, like there's really no point for girl state bucks unless you are like campaigning
Yeah,
or you're running for governor because you have to use all of your money to run for governor.
yeah. If you're campaigning, it's super important because you got to buy campaign materials, ads, everything.
Yeah, because you cannot use anything outside. Like, if you had like a pencil that you had from home, you would be disqualified if anybody found out you were using that pencil.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's foreign help.
Dang foreigners.
Good night. Love you too.
Mhm.
So what was the
What else?
main political demographic of the kids?
Ours was liberal.
Yeah, honestly, ours was kind of mixed, but like there was no super hard liberals or any super hard conservatives, to be honest.
So they were all pretty moderate.
I mean, I wouldn't say pretty moderate, if I could speak moderate, but they weren't
We had a
like
lot of left leaning.
super hard conservative or liberal.
They weren't hard.
Yeah, or herd.
Yeah.
They were
Huh.
soft.
Like every liberal.
That's what the Clinton administration wants you to think.
That's what those dang bushes are. They're all soft.
Aw. Ellie said one time, it's like, what if you braided them and used them as reins?
Oh.
Mondo Deuce in our can, half the size of me.
Is that going
I
into your
was
quotes?
it already is. I was on the girls' state bar stool.
Senior quote question mark question mark.
I made a stupid face and somebody put that on the bar stool and it says us when you don't send your state fair pictures and it's me. Ugh, it's gnarly.
Gnarly.
Why is your brother playing Farming Simulator 25?
No, he's probably playing with his friend. One of his friends actually, his family's like lives on a farm and he drives tractors, and so now they play farming simulator together, I guess.
And he wants to play. And he wants to tractor more.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's like it.
He eats and
That's what.
sleeps
Which
tractor.
Aiden, it's our old middle school reading teacher skit. So there you go. There's some context for you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Gracie never experienced her. I just
Yeah,
realized that.
I heard stories.
Yeah.
she was
Was
horrible.
she the one that made you run?
Yep.
Hmm.
We had to run to experience what it's like to live out in the forest.
Were you reading Hatchet?
Yep.
Yep.
You know forest living. When you can't walk, you must run.
You must run because apparently, what are you running from? Just to run.
That's so funny. Hey, have you ever been in the forest? No. Well, when you're in the forest, you are incapable of walking.
You
You
can
must
only
run.
move at high speeds.
That's so funny. Dude, I had to tell one I was talking to somebody and I was like, "Man, The Giver. Dude, The Giver series sucks. The first book, great. The rest of them,
It's
we lost the
went way
plot.
off the rails.
Yeah.
It was like it was like reading City of Ember.
The City of Ember was actually good though.
No, the second book was good. Then the third book we're like, where's the plot? And then the fourth book I didn't read.
Yeah, after a while, yeah, I didn't read the fourth book either because it just got really weird.
Yeah,
The
the
f-
third book talked about like how like it was like a prequel.
so I thought the fourth book was pretty cool.
No, it must have been another prequel because the third book was talking about the girl, and it was like there was gonna be like nuclear war, I think, soon. So that's when they built the City of Ember.
Yeah. Do you guys ever watch the movie?
No, I did
Nope.
not.
It was all right, but I was so disappointed that it did so horrible that they're never making another one. After I finally watched it one day.
That's like the old Percy Jackson movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, but that was one of the that was my first experience being spending a week from home and one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Yeah. It was fun. I'm glad I'm back now and ready to do
Yeah,
other things with my knowledge.
I'm ready to walk on flat surfaces forever. If we did it at Missouri Western, do you know how easy that would be?
Those buildings are pretty far apart at Missouri Western, though.
They're far, like, Lindenwood's a much more walkable campus, but everything at Missouri Western's flat.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I would like. Why can't we do it on a flat campus?
true. All right, Aiden, you want to get your fun fact ready?
Oh, fun fact. Forgot about that.
Yeah, come on, play a critical role.
Yeah,
And this is your guys' episode.
but you still got to hit us with a fun fact. It's your job.
It was our girl's state, but now
Give,
it's
give me,
your fun fact.
give me a sec.
He's
Aiden
looking
be
up
Googling
dumbest
fun
fun
facts.
facts.
Actually, no, Aiden be
Fun facts
texting
about
Patrick right
Missouri.
now.
Hey, Patrick, you know any stupid fun facts?
And
Quick
he'd
fun
be
fact.
like,
Here's a
"Oh,
pre-fun fact for you. Did you know what ATM stands for?
something machine."
Automated teller machine. It's not really
And
that
it's funny.
interesting, but I just learned it the other day and I thought it was fun.
It's also
Is it?
funny that we call them ATM machines.
I mean, we call the
Yeah.
Mississippi River the Mississippi River, even though it means river, river.
It's like saying chai tea.
Yeah, but no, I have a gripe with that. Like, I get that chai means tea, but it's a flavor of tea. God damn it!
Hmm.
It changed. It's okay to call it chai tea. Don't get on my
No, it's
ass.
not. No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
Tell
Yes, it
that
is.
to tell that to all the Indians listening.
I'm sorry, but it's now a flavor. Maybe when there was only one type of tea and it was chai tea. It was chai. Boom, tea. But now we've got Earl Grey, we've got green, we've got yellow, we've got black.
Bro calls pan bread. He goes pan bread.
Aiden, you got a
That's
Why would I
bread.
pre-fun
call
fact for us then?
why would I call bread anything but bread?
He calls chai tea.
Yes,
Chai
because it's a
tea.
flavor of tea.
Jeez. Where's my fun
Hey,
fact?
if I asked for chai and you get me Earl Grey, it's not the same.
How much chai have you drank?
Too much. I'm actually a big fan of chai tea.
Chai tea?
Yes, because it's a goddamn flavor.
Yeah, it's like the porridge soup all over porridge soup. It's like the biscuit soup all over again.
Ah,
It's the
yes,
same
Aiden
goddamn
his
thing.
biscuit
It's
soup.
just different. It's slightly different.
Oh, it's not. Now hit us with that fun fact, Aiden. So that way we can
Oh,
stop
fine.
talking about your biscuit soup.
It's not a
Gravy
biscuit
soup.
soup. It's biscuits and gravy. It's two
It's
ingredients.
breadcrumbs and gravy, my dude.
What do
Sorry.
you think biscuits are? Biscuits are just a large group of breadcrumbs.
No, it's a biscuit in gravy.
But but is it a gravy on top of a biscuit? Is the
Hey,
biscuit really in the gravy?
hey, maybe the real biscuit was the friends we made along the way.
Shut up.
My sister, we found one of her old like notebooks and it says, "Where are you, biscuit?" for like an Easter basket. And I think that's really funny.
Who's
Where are you,
biscuit?
biscuit? She spelled basket wrong.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Where are you, biscuit?
oh, Gracie, you're gonna be really proud of me. But I'm actually reading a book.
Whoa, you can read.
Yeah, no, I know, I
He's
know.
reading
It's a
he's
surprise.
reading Ballsack.
The Balzac trilogy. No, but it's actually really good. I like it.
He's reading Smut.
Definitely.
Shush.
He went back to
Why'd you
the
get all
entertainment mart
flustered?
and bought that one book that was like
The
milking or
milking!
whatever.
The milking book!
No, I don't have the money. Actually, I do. I've got birthday money. I'm not. Why would I waste money on that when I can get it on the internet for free, though?
Bro watches that every day.
Not every day.
Watches that?
Maybe
He
every
reads
couple of
that.
days.
Every couple of
Oh,
days he rereads it.
yeah. I was like, I
The
love
milk.
this book. This
Oh, what is
book's
that
amazing.
called again? It was like milking something.
I have a
Milking
picture of
farm?
it
I don't know.
somewhere.
Yeah, Brody, you want to find that?
Yeah, for Aiden.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Yeah.
it was called Milking Farm. Morning Glory
Uh,
Milking Farm.
yep.
Morning Glory.
One of
Ugh.
the one of the um scholarships was called the High and Tight Scholarship. Set in a small town of Cambric Creek, the story follows Violet, a young woman just desperate for a job to pay her bills and student loans. She finds an ad for Morning Glory Farm, which offers great pay and benefits, but doesn't really realize she'll be milking minotaurs. Hey, so that's insane. Why did you write
um.
that?
Police.
To
I'd
the
like to report an
police.
emergency.
Oh my gosh. This is somebody on Reddit. Morning Glory Milking Farm, anyone? I saw someone read this on Goodreads, and because it was short and I had nothing to read, I gave it a shot. I do not enjoy smut-based books, but I thought this was actually well-written storyline for being so short, and the plot. Maybe it's because I went into thinking it was going to be D and F, but I was super surprised I actually enjoyed it. That story had no right to be as cute and charming as it is. The cover is frankly horrific. But I enjoyed the story. I would kill to live in Camber Creek. It seems so charming and cozy.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Why are people loving this? Yeah, it was a surprisingly cute book. My only complaint was there was random flashbacks out of nowhere. Other than that, very sweet. The premise is smutty AF, but the story is so wholesome. What?
What? People cannot be enjoying that.
I'm
There's no way
also not a
people enjoy that.
I'm also not a fan of smut-based books, which is why I haven't read this, but I really, really love Minotaurs, so this might be on my to-be read list, but I
No.
keep putting it off, yet I'm struggling to find anything not totally smut-based around Minotaurs, LOL.
Bruh. Just read ancient Greek manuscripts about minotaurs.
Oh my gosh.
God. God. People scare me. Humans are scary.
Morning Glory.
Morning
Milking
glory.
Farm.
What else would you do on a farm?
Milk Minotaurs, apparently.
What? But
Why did your brother send me a meme?
did he slide into your DMs?
He slid into my DMs. Oh, because I sent him the waving thing.
Oh.
I think I did that on accident.
My friends with. I don't think I'm friends with him. Why didn't he send me? Why am I not friends
This is the meme he sent. Get ready. It'll load.
Oh, he showed me that. That's my grandma's dog.
Why did he send me this?
It's pretty funny.
Chat. What does this mean? All right. Are we I think we're good. Do you find that fun fact?
Yeah. Alright. A group of owls is called a parliament.